Do you hear that? That's quiet luxury. Hi, thanks so much for joining me. Today we are talking all about quiet luxury. This is a little bit of a departure from my normal videos, which are usually focused on luxury beauty. Today we're talking about quiet luxury in terms of fashion, but we'll talk a little bit about beauty as well. If you are new to this channel, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you if you are returning. Today's video is in collaboration with Michele Wong, who I know many of you already know. She and I have been friends for years now on YouTube and in real life, and I was thinking about this idea because there are so many things I like about this, and then when I thought about other people that I know who would probably be into this, it was Michele. So I asked her if she'd like to collaborate on this, and she was actually working on something else for her own content. So we thought, what a perfect fit. So her style and my style are different, but we both have, I think, the same kind of lens when it comes to what we want to invest in. So today's actually gonna be 5 tips on how I invest in quiet luxury. And to me, this style is not a new thing. It's something I've tried to do for years and years and years. But when I saw the same tag to it, a lot of articles kept popping up on my feed about it, and I thought, you know what, this is what I have been trying to do. I like that it's been named at this point, and reading all of the various interpretations of what this actually is has been interesting as well. So this is my take on it. It might be different than other articles you've read if you've been looking at this too. So I thought there were some things though that I could point out to you that might be useful in case you are investing as well. But I also want to acknowledge that some people do not like this quiet luxury approach. I read an article about the opposite of this, saying I am successful, I can afford these things, I should be able to wear these logos. So I think it has to do with your personal style as well, and mine has always been understated. So like I said, there are various interpretations of what this idea is. So I think when it comes to this style or even this lifestyle of living, certain brands tend to come up over and over again, like the LORO, PIANA, BRUNELLO, CUCINELLI, Max Mara, KHAITE, I see in there once in a while. I also see TOD'S. So I don't think you have to have a specific brand for this to work, but I think those brands are great for inspiration in case this is a style that you're interested in, because they really emulate the idea, but I know the price points are also quite high. And when you look at them, they are quite elevated basics, and that's the lens I like to use. There's also an if you know, you know kind of aspect to this. This gets to the heart of why I love quiet luxury. So if you've ever cleaned out your closet, the things that remain in there are classic timeless pieces that you've invested in. The other things in my closet, I wonder why I even bought them in the first place, because I maybe only wore them once or twice. If you've watched my channel before, you know I don't like to waste, and that's one of the reasons I have a channel, is to help viewers decide on what to purchase versus not to purchase so that you do get the most out of your resources. So some of the things about this style that I read about that I really liked. Quiet luxury is new age minimalism with a larger focus on investment pieces and thoughtful shopping habits. And that's what I love to do. I love to be really thoughtful about what I purchase. And I also love the sustainability aspect of this, because I'll talk about some pre-loved items. And these don't have to be the latest and greatest in fashion. They can be things that are on sale or previous season, because these are classic, sustainable, high quality pieces. And some of these things are even heirloom quality. So tip number 1, don't get into debt doing this, because the price points are typically quite high. So it's easy for things to add up. For me, I have a separate account from everything else just for this kind of purpose. So I know how much I have to spend, I know what my limits are, and it helps me prioritize, because I can't have every piece be a quiet luxury piece. You'll see how I decide which ones I think will get the most wear. So for instance, a tank top is not something I'm going to invest in, because that's something I'm going to wash and dry frequently. So knowing what to spend money on, even though you want things that you'll wear a lot, they won't be things that I need to launder a lot or put in the dryer a lot. Tip number 2 is to be thoughtful about logos. So this one's a tricky one, because if you read the articles about this style, you'll see that it's about understated or non-visible logos sometimes. But I think in some cases, when the logo is part of the iconic design, then that's also understated. So for instance, I was lucky enough to pick up the Chanel double flap medium in caviar leather a few years ago. Since then, the price has escalated quite quickly, but the logo is part of the overall design of this bag, and it's not the only thing you see. You just see the bag as a whole. So for me, that is a timeless logo. that is quite understated. It's not like it's a t-shirt and I have it very large on my t-shirt. It's part of the overall design. Or when the logo is very small. I recently picked up a Chanel vintage jacket from 1999 and the only logo on there, except for the inside label, are buttons, and the logo is very, very discreet. You have to lean in really closely to see the logo. So that's another thing. And plus this is a jacket, so it's something I'm going to wear over and over again and can style with many different things. I also have a Chanel tweed suit, and you might imagine it's Chanel from far away, but it's not until you come up really closely to those buttons that you can see. I also have a jacket that is another vintage piece. And this one has the motif of Chanel, the black and the white, but the pearl buttons are also quite discreet. I also recently picked up some Hermes sandals, and the only way you can tell is if you're familiar with the shape of the front of the sandal. And these have a little heel on them, so they're so great for versatile outfits. I can wear them with shorts, pants, I can even wear them with dresses. There's no logo visible on the shoes unless you consider the front part a bit of a hint of the logo. You'd have to look on the inside of the label in order to see what it says. That's definitely one of those if you know kinds of logos. Some TOD'S loafers, and the logoing is also quite discreet, and those are also versatile. So you'll hear that a lot with the items I pick up, is that versatility piece. I picked up some of the most exquisite sandals by LORO PIANA. They look beautiful, but they're even more comfortable. That may be one of the brands that has one of the higher price points in any of the brands that we're talking about. When you use exquisite materials and amazing craftsmanship, it really translates into luxury. Also accessories, if they are discreet, I've got a couple of Twilly scarves from Hermes, and those are things I've had for years now, and those are things I wear on repeat. And that's another, if you know, you know. You can tell from the equestrian motif that it is most likely Hermes. And then if you look really closely, you can see that it is visible in the scarf. Then there are those logos that are more like stealth wealth. If you're able to figure out what some of these obscure, non-recognizable logos are, you're gonna learn about some really exclusive things that maybe you didn't know about before. Tip number 3 is beautiful fabrics. So beautiful fabrics almost translates into high maintenance fabrics for me because I love cashmere. It's so soft. Silk is so beautiful. It has a beautiful luster to it. Leather, if it's soft and buttery. And linen is also a very luxurious fabric, especially for the summer. So cashmere is more widely available now, but not all cashmeres are created equally. So I look for really high quality cashmeres in lovely neutral colors. And I think the color is also part of the quality of the cashmere. I have a beautiful, really neutral cardigan that I've had for a long time. And this is something that really elevates an outfit, even though it's quite basic. This is an item that can be styled many different ways and can be used throughout the year. I love silk, and silk is one of the things that I can wash by hand and then let it dry and steam it, and it looks almost like it did brand new. So that's one that I really like to invest in because I can care for that myself and have it look just as nice as it did when I got it. So something like this suit, which is not from a brand that is a luxury brand, it's from a smaller company called ANAPHE, which you can get here in the United States now. So I like to mix and match. And then of course, you've got the scarves again, made of silk, which worked really nicely on handbags and the hair, tied around the wrist. I've gotten so many compliments on the Hermes Twillies when I wear them in my hair. And then linen. Linen's one of my favorite fabrics. So there is a linen maker in Capri, and we have had the pleasure of knowing the owners for a few years now. This is something that started with their family on Anna Capri many years ago. I think they started with caftans. But they do exclusively linen, so they don't have any other fabric. I know they provide monogram linens to people in yachts. They deliver them to the yachts on Capri, but they also create some of the most beautiful handmade linen. So I have a shirt dress that I purchased from them a few years ago, and then most recently, gosh, was it last year? No machine has been used to sew this jumpsuit. It has, again, been done all by hand. So anything with a beautiful fabric, with such lovely craftsmanship, definitely fits into this category, even though it might not be a brand that you'd hear about. And this brand happens to be AUTORI CAPRESI, and they actually sell online now, so I'll link things below for you. And they happen to be the loveliest people, so if you're ever in Capri, make sure to visit them. Leather, again, has such a range, and I look for really buttery leather, like these Veronica beard pants I picked up a few years ago. They're so soft, and they're also on the thinner side, so they can be worn different times of the year. It's not just a winter piece. but it can be worn in the spring as well. I also invested in some separates that have a cotton linen blend, so that way it's not so wrinkly, because I know linen, depending on the kind of linen, can wrinkle quite a bit. So I picked up some pieces from Joseph. I picked up a jacket, slacks, and shorts, so I can wear them interchangeably. I can wear them with other pieces. I love that it was a nice lightweight fabric for this spring and summer, and to me blue is a neutral tone as well. So I was really happy with that purchase. Of course, leather extends to things like accessories, like this NILI Lotan belt I recently picked up. That one's quite versatile. I'm gonna get my use out of it. I love that it is very understated. In fact, I don't know how many people would even know where that belt comes from. There is no logo visible on this, but I think it just elevates an outfit, because I had worn it with a pair of khaki pants and a black t-shirt, and it wasn't until I added that belt that it really came together. So anything I can get a lot of wear out without laundering frequently is something I'm going to invest in. And so cashmere fits in that category for sweaters. Silk also fits under that category, although silk is easier to launder out of any of these. Linen as well is something that I can launder every once in a while without feeling like I'm going to destroy the fabric. Those tend to be things that I wouldn't want to put in the washer dryer anyway. Tip number 4 is fine jewelry, and not just any fine jewelry, but these are pieces that I consider heirloom pieces. They're things that I wear frequently, in fact every day. So I will wear this Cartier love necklace every day. I've got my Cartier Juste un Clou. I have my love bracelet here. I've also got a Cartier love. I have this one is an interesting one. This is a Chanel, and some of you have spotted this one, the Chanel Coco Crush. It's got the quilting of the Chanel, but doesn't say anything about Chanel on it. You just have to know that the quilted pattern usually is equated with Chanel. And then I have some custom pieces here. I have the loveliest pearl bracelet, which was passed down to me, and these earrings that I get a lot of questions about. These are my mom's earrings that she's given to me. So a lot of the jewelry I am wearing day after day after day, which you see a lot, has either been gifted, passed down to me, or is going to be an heirloom that I will pass down. I like to go with more 18 karat if possible. It has a richer tone to it. Those are things I purchase to enjoy on a daily basis, as well as things that I'm planning on passing along. And then, as I said, a lot of this jewelry is jewelry that my mom has passed along to me. Oh yes, another thing my mom passed along to me, which I think is really quiet luxury, is a Cellini Rolex that she passed along. So if you're familiar with the Rolex bracelet design, that one is a lot more visible. I think even from far away you can tell what someone's wearing, but this particular watch you really have to look closely to even know it's a Rolex. So I love that one for a very understated look. And these things elevate a very simple denim t-shirt or very basic kind of outfit. I think having this jewelry on that I don't even realize I'm wearing anymore, because it is something I wear every day, really does elevate in a very simple, understated way. And then tip number 5 to me includes beauty. So I know that I do mostly beauty videos, but I also think there's a luxury element, like a quiet luxury element to beauty. And I love the idea of being high maintenance so you can be low maintenance. It made a lot of sense to me because I'm very high maintenance when it comes to skincare, but then that translates into low maintenance with makeup. So because I take care of my skin, that means I can wear less makeup, and that has really proven true over the years for me with my darker spots here. So I had some pretty severe dark spots, and it was very, very high maintenance to put makeup on. It looks like I was wearing makeup. I couldn't get around it because they were so severe. But because I've been taking care of my skin and worn sunscreen and been really diligent, I can now be very low maintenance with my makeup. In fact, I did this look in the previous vlog. If you'd like to see how I got here, it looks like I'm not wearing much makeup at all, but still there's some pretty strategic placement of makeup, but not a lot of it. So I am much more low maintenance when it comes to getting ready now, because I don't have as much to concern myself with in terms of correcting anything. Now that my skin is in really good condition, I don't have to spend a lot of time getting ready. And if you notice, with quiet luxury, it tends to be a more understated makeup look as well. So very little makeup on, but very strategic. But one of the things that I think is like almost silent luxury, because you can't even see it, is skincare. And you just see the results of it, and you'll never know what someone's using unless you go into their vanity and see what they have. But when it comes to skincare, one line that I think it's really luxurious, is the Shanghai Gold line. I've had a chance to try almost everything at this point. They've recently come out with a gold serum that I'd love to try, but I've tried everything else in that line, and it was one of my favorite lines of skincare that I've ever tried. So even today I have on the Gold Firming Moisturizing Cream, and that has a beautiful golden glow to it, very subtle, but you can even use that and just that if you like, instead of makeup. I use the Gold Energizing Eye Serum, the one with the roller ball. I use that every day. I also use their 24 karat gold energizing eye cream today. The Gold Recovery Mask is my all-time favorite mask. And it does a really nice job of when my skin is stressed and tired, especially from travel, I'll bring that one because it brings that suppleness back to the skin. The Intense Concentrates, both AM and PM, also deliver results I have not seen before. It's a level of softness to my skin that I don't get with any other product. The 24 karat gold energizing face cream is really, really nice for the evening when you want to seal in all of that skincare. I love that product. Like I said, I love the entire gold line. I think investing in skincare, high quality skincare, really pays off in terms of time getting ready and the amount of products I need to put on my face in order to get ready. The Dyson too has protected my hair, so that's another thing I don't have to spend a lot of time on, is conditioning my hair and doing all kinds of things to get my hair to be shiny because I don't damage it in the first place. But that's quite an investment on the front end, I know, with a Dyson styling tool, because that is one thing that has not damaged my hair, and it's really made quite a difference. So those are my 5 tips for quiet luxury. So let me know what your tips are, what you're looking at these days. Are you interested in quiet luxury? Not interested in quiet luxury? I feel like the audience here really is interested in quiet luxury. In fact, you let me know that you purchase accessories without logos on them. That's actually what you prefer. So let me know what your favorite brands are, what your best investments have been. So if this is the style you're interested in, make sure to subscribe because I will be continuing to curate my quiet luxury capsule wardrobe. And these are things, again, that hit all of those marks and are things I'm going to wear time and time again for years to come. And thank you so much if you headed over from Michele's video. Thank you for joining us. If you have not yet gone to Michele's video, make sure to go see it. And a huge thanks to Michele again for collaborating with me. And that's it for today's video. So please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.